BlackRock just shoved $290 million into a Bitcoin ETF while the Fed hints at cuts. Next big breakout or total fake out? Welcome to your daily 5-minute crypto brief with Satoshi and Nova. Today is September 5th, 2025. I am Nova.
I am Satoshi.
While a lot of altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, even the meme coins saw these little dips, ETH down maybe 1.2%, SOL 1.3%, Bitcoin actually held its ground. It even edged up, 0.5%, around $111,500. It's subtle, yeah, but it does hint at something interesting, maybe a cautious shift in sentiment. But honestly, the real action, the big story, is happening behind the scenes. We're talking major policy shifts, institutional moves. We've got news from the Fed, a pretty dramatic pivot from the SEC, and wow, some significant Bitcoin ETF inflows. That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating, actually. The macro signals are, they're starting to look quite supportive for crypto. We heard from New York Fed President John C. Williams, and he indicated that gradual rate cuts, they could start as soon as mid-September. That's if inflation keeps cooling and unemployment ticks up just modestly. And this is significant, because lower rates, they typically weaken the dollar, and that tends to bolster risk assets, Bitcoin being a prime example. Makes them look a lot more attractive.
So cheaper money potentially coming, making crypto look better. Okay, but that's not the whole story, is it?
Exactly. I mean, while that's a positive sign, a tailwind, you still got to watch the data, right? Yeah. An unexpectedly strong jobs report comes out. Bam, those cuts could easily get delayed. Yeah. So, stay vigilant there. But connecting this to the even bigger picture, we're seeing a really monumental shift from the SEC. Under the new chair, Paul Atkins, they've just unveiled this whole new agenda, revamping crypto policies. They're talking clearer rules for digital assets.
Clearer rules, okay.
Yeah, and crucially, they're considering safe harbor provisions.
Safe harbor, what does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it could essentially offer projects a kind of temporary shield from certain enforcement actions, provided they meet specific criteria. It lets them innovate without constantly looking over their shoulder for legal threats. It's quite a departure from how things were.
That does sound monumental. I mean, given the SEC's history here, do you think this really signals they're trying to, integrate crypto into traditional finance? And could it actually ease the compliance headaches for people listening?
It's definitely the strongest signal yet. I mean, those safe harbor provisions, if they actually happen, could unlock so much innovation that's been kind of stuck. And they're also thinking about letting cryptocurrencies trade on places like the NYSE or Nasdaq under, updated rules.
Wow, okay.
Which would be massive for mainstream adoption. It cuts down that regulatory uncertainty, potentially opens doors for new products, more institutions getting involved. But, and this is the important question, right? These are still just proposals on the fall 2025 agenda.
Right. So not a done deal.
Not a done deal. The outcome, the timing, still uncertain. It's positive, yes. But we have to wait and see how it shakes out.
Still, even with that uncertainty, you can kind of see the optimism bubbling up, right? Look at BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, I beat day. Nearly $290 million in net inflows in one day. That's not just noise. That's serious institutional buying, getting Bitcoin exposure through these regulated channels.
Yeah, absolutely. So summarizing it all, the market's sort of treading water, maybe leaning slightly positive. And that's really driven by these constructive signs. The Fed talk on rates, this big SEC policy pivot, and that solid institutional demand we're seeing in the ETFs.
Okay, so let's bring it back to you listening in. What does this mix mean right now? Well, the underlying signals, the foundational drivers, they look pretty favorable at the moment. But remember, the Fed always says data dependent. One strong jobs report could change their tune on rate cuts. And regulatory proposals, even really promising ones like the SEC's, they take time. They have to go through the process. So here's our provocative thought for you today. How do you balance these really powerful, potentially crypto-friendly policy signals against the inherent volatility we always see in the crypto market? How does that shape your strategy in the weeks ahead? Keep informed, stay prepared. Because as we always say, this landscape, it's constantly evolving.
You've seen the crypto headlines. Now get the signals that impact your holdings. Money.ai scans 1.3 million signals a day, from token prices to Twitter sentiment, and gives you one personalized briefing. No hype, no noise, just your crypto edge. Download Money.ai. Stay ahead.